He woke up heavy, like someone had folded the world over his chest overnight. The apartment smelled faintly of cold coffee, his phone buzzed with 3 missed calls, 2 payment reminders and a notification from the grocery app advertising a discount he couldn't afford but clicked anyway. He stared at the ceiling, counting the small, dangerous comforts he'd used to cope, late-night deliveries, impulse buys that made him feel in control for 10 minutes, parcelamentos that stretched the problem into next month and the month after. It wasn't laziness. It was the slow, grinding weight of chaos that eats discipline alive. The room told the story: empty takeout boxes on the floor, a credit card statement half hidden under a jacket, a stack of overdue bills like quiet, accusing books on the table. He remembered telling himself yesterday he'd fix it. Today he couldn't even find the energy to start. He tried to push the panic down with scrolling, a brief dopamine hit from an online sale, and the familiar lie, "I'll sort it when I have time." But time didn't fix interest, calls, or the gnawing shame when friends asked about rent and he mumbled excuses. "How did I get here?" he said aloud, not expecting an answer. The voice in the mirror was tired, but there was a line of clarity behind his eyes, anger, maybe, or something like refusal. That little refusal is the hinge of change. Men like him, working hard, juggling gigs, paying card minimums, don't need another motivational platitude. They need a clean, usable routine that cuts the noise and gives back control. This video is for that refusal. If you're tired of being numb, if you're done with the guilt and the cycle of temporary fixes, stick around. I won't promise overnight miracles. I will show a simple, daily discipline you can actually do, a weekly spending review that exposes the leaks, methods to stop impulse buys cold, micro goals that build momentum, and one daily action to start bringing in extra cash. If this hits, tap like and stay with me. What's your biggest struggle today? Anxiety, debt, low income, or disorganization? Next, we'll walk through the first concrete step to get control back. He sits at the kitchen table while the apartment slowly wakes, the kettle clicks off, light crawls through cracked blinds, and his phone buzzes with another unpaid notice. The number on the screen feels like a weight on his chest. He doesn't pretend it's not there. He leans back, breathes in, and tells himself the truth: this is messy, but it's fixable. That admission is the first small act of courage. It's the kind of clarity you reclaim when you stop numbing and start mapping. Start with a single, ruthless session each week. Picture Sunday morning, black coffee, 5 receipts, the banking app, and a simple note app or paper. No romance, just cold facts. Circle the recurring charges you forgot about, mark the impulse buys that feel like emotional bandages, add the minimums and overdue lines. The goal isn't guilt, it's visibility. When you can see where the money goes, shame loses its grip and decisions get easier. Make 3 cuts right there: cancel 1 subscription you never use, set a hard limit on delivery orders, freeze another card in a drawer for 30 days. These small removals create breathing room. Then put structure on impulse. Before you hit buy, pause. Tell yourself, wait 24 hours. Remove stored cards from apps, turn off the saving of payment details, and unfollow the accounts that train your eyes to spend. Discipline isn't a punishment, it's protecting future options. Each avoided impulse is a tiny deposit in calm. Micro goals keep momentum. Don't chase huge, unsustainable targets. Choose things you can win every day: log today's spending, walk 1 hour a week to clear your head, transfer a modest fixed amount toward a debt bucket, even $5 signals control. Celebrate the small wins. They rewire your identity from "I'm failing" to "I am someone who acts." Finally, do 1 income action daily. Send a pitch, post a gig, respond to 3 leads, sell 1 unused item. Make it non-negotiable. 10 minutes at noon becomes the habit that opens doors. Pair it with a Stoic check: what can I control today? Your focus narrows, anxiety loosens. He closes the notebook with a cleaner page than the one he opened. Not fixed, but moving. That movement matters. If this hits home, leave a quick note: what's your biggest struggle today? Anxiety, debt, low income, or disorganization? Stick around. Next we build the exact payoff map and the daily checklist that turns these small moves into real debt relief and steady income growth. And hey, if this helped, tap like and subscribe to follow the step-by-step plan. He sits at the tiny kitchen table, a single lamp cutting through dawn. Phone face down, but the buzz of 3 overdue notices still plays behind his eyes. I tell him to breathe. Not because breathing fixes debt, but because clear air lets the mind do its job. First practice, the weekly spending review. Once a week, 20 minutes, no excuses. Pull out last 7 days of receipts, the bank app, that stack of delivery boxes in the corner. Name every charge. Call it what it is: subscription, food, impulse, transport, and assign it a role: essential, negotiable, kill. The act of naming removes a lot of the shame, it turns chaos into a map. Across the room, he rolls a cigarette but stops. I can't do it, he says. I answer with a small, stoic truth: control what you can. Start with impulses. Add a 24-hour rule: if you want to buy something that isn't basic necessity, wait 1 day. Most wants fade. Most cravings are designed to be instant. Practice saying no to yourself like a promise, not punishment. Then micro goals, tiny wins that compound. Not get out of debt, but move $30 to debt every Friday, or cancel one paid service this week. Set a visible tracker, 3 boxes on the wall, tick them off. Momentum prefers small victories. Build a daily income action, one simple, repeatable move that feeds the wallet and your dignity. Send one job pitch, list one thing to sell, post one offer in a local group, or take a 2-hour gig in the evening. Do it before dinner, guard that hour like a meeting with your future self. We create rituals: morning clarity, 5 minutes planning, evening review, 10 minutes reconciling receipts, weekly audit, 20 minutes to trim the fat. Rituals remove friction. They make discipline predictable and boring, which is exactly what stabilizes a life on the edge. He asks, quieter now, will it work? I don't promise miracles. I promise a system. Comment below what's heavier today: anxiety, debt, low income, or chaos, and if this landed, tap like. Tomorrow I'll show how to stack these routines into a 30-day reset and track real progress. He sits at the kitchen table while the city wakes up like a distant alarm: messages, red icons, the rent notification still glowing on his phone. For a moment the old script takes over: order dinner, swipe the card, mute the panic. Instead he breathes. He remembers the rule: 15 minutes of review, then action. He opens his notes, not to scroll and despair, but to list: 1 overdue bill, 2 meals out last week, the minimum on the credit card, and a small gig offer he never replied to. The list is ugly and simple. That clarity is the first cut. A notification pops: an impulse sale for headphones. His thumb hovers. He hears his own voice, low and steady: not today. He closes the page. It's a tiny refusal, but it lands like a stone breaking the surface. He colors in a quick budget column: essential, negotiable, cut. Delivery apps go under, cut. He writes next to the credit card: call and ask for one-time relief. He dials. The agent's voice is indifferent, but the act of asking changes something. He negotiates a small waiver, he schedules one late fee to be waived. It doesn't erase the debt, but it buys him air. At noon he sends one message to that freelance contact: available for 2 hours tomorrow, rate X. It's a small, visible step that feels strange because he's been avoiding it. The humility of starting low, of offering time instead of waiting for perfect opportunity, is surprisingly liberating. He prepares one thing: a 30-minute block tonight to list items he can sell. He pictures the cluttered closet, the unused tools. He imagines turning objects into a starter buffer for the next bill. The day collects wins like small coins: a cancelled subscription, a negotiated payment date, a gig confirmation, $30 from a sold item. The anxiety eases in the spaces between actions. He notices his mind clears as the ledger gets honest and trim. Discipline isn't heroic, it's repetitive and boring and steady. He finishes the day with a simple ritual: review, plan one action, and close the tab. The weight is lighter. If this scene hits you, tell me below: which is your biggest struggle right now: anxiety, debt, low income, or chaos? If you want the next step, I'll show how to turn these small wins into a 90-day escape plan, so stick around. He sits at the small kitchen table, sunlight cutting across old receipts like a spotlight. The panic is still there, a little sharper when the phone vibrates, but it's quieter now, because he followed the routine. 1-minute breath, list open, 3 items checked, spending review done, impulse list sealed, 1 micro goal set. That's the point: the storm doesn't have to stop to move forward. You don't need a dramatic overhaul, you need steady, repeatable actions that chip away at the pressure. Picture him sending a short message to a landlord: I can pay half today, the rest next payday. Can we agree? Hearing the landlord say yes doesn't erase the debt, but it removes the existential dread. He cancels one subscription, packs one unused speaker to sell, and posts the listing before noon. An hour later he's on a quick call pitching a small gig, a real, specific ask: can you pay me $80 for this job by Friday? And he hears yes. These aren't miracles. They're scheduled moves: weekly review, ruthless impulse block, micro-debt target, 1 daily income action. The changes feel modest at first. Money trickles back, clarity grows. Anxiety drops because there's a framework to follow when the wave comes. Night comes and instead of numbing out with another delivery app, he prepares a simple meal, logs the day, marks the win. The voice that used to shame him now acknowledges a pattern forming. Discipline isn't punishment, it's a contract with yourself written in small commitments and kept every day. If this landed for you, try it tonight, set one micro goal, sell, message or negotiate, and do one income action tomorrow. Notice how the tension shifts when you replace a panic spiral with a plan. If you want more step-by-step resets, say which is your biggest struggle right now, anxiety, debt, low income, or disorganization, and I'll map a week you can follow. If this helped even a little, hit like and subscribe for straightforward routines that build real control. No fluff, just the next move.